Hi, welcome to my video on double angle formula for cosine. Number 5, solving equations. Solve for 0 less than or equal to theta less than 2 pi. And we're going to solve the equation which has cos 2 theta equals negative sine theta. Cos 2 theta has many equivalent expressions. So cos 2 theta could be cos squared theta sine squared theta. It could be 2 cos squared theta minus 1, or it could be negative 2 sine squared theta plus 1. And which one we're going to do? Well, because we have the right side negative sign, then I'm going to use this one because I won't have, if I use this one, I got to change the cos to a sine. If I use this one, I got to change cos squared to a sine. So I'm going to fill in cos 2 theta is negative 2 sine squared theta plus 1. So notice now that all each side of the equation got signs. So negative 2 sine squared theta plus sine theta plus 1 equals 0. And the reason I did that, because notice I got a sine squared as a quadratic, so I'm going to move all terms to the left side. Now I'm going to divide by negative, or multiply each term by negative, so my leading term won't have a negative. So negative times all these expressions will give me 2 sine squared theta minus sine theta minus 1 equals 0. So now I'm going to let sine theta equal a. So I got 2a squared minus a minus 1. Now I didn't have to do that, but then you can see that the algebra is going to step in. So this factorization here, it has a quadratic, so hopefully it's factorable. Let's see. I got 2a squared, which is 2a times a. I got 1 on the end, which is 1 and 1. Now to get, this is negative, so I have to have a plus and a minus. But to get a minus in the middle, so make that a minus 1 plus 1. So let's check. Outside is negative 2a, inside is 1a, perfect. So that means that 2a plus 1 equals 0, or a minus 1 equals 0. So 2a equals negative 1 divided by 2. A is negative a half. And here a is 1. But we said that a was sine theta. So sine theta is a negative a half. And also sine theta right here is 1. Let's deal with the 1 first. So we have a 1, so that's a unit circle. Sine is the y, so y is 1. And right here we got a 0, 1. So that means theta is 90 degrees, because the sine of 90 is 1. So that's a 90 degrees for that one. Now we have sine is a negative a half. So we take the special right triangles and we draw for 1/2. So 1/2 is, we could have a 1, and that's a root 3, and that's a 2. So this is a 60, this is a 30. So the sine of 30 is 1/2. So that means the reference angle is 30. So now we'll go to the correct quadrants, and let's go to add sugar to coffee. Sine is positive here and here, so it's negative in 3 and 4. So that means we'll go to quadrant 3 and put in a reference angle of 30. And we'll go to quadrant 4 and put in the reference angle of 30. So this rotation right here is 180 plus 30. So that means we have a 150. And right here we have all the way around. So this one is 360 degrees minus 30. So that's 330 degrees. And we have to convert them to radians. So we have, let's take the 90. 90 degrees is pi divided by 2. Now, a 30 degree reference, so let's look at a 30 degree. 30 degree is pi divided by 6. 180 divided by 6 is 30. That means 150 is 5 of those. So it's 5 pi over 6. 330, there's 11 of them. So it's a 30 here is 11. So I said 150. Huh? Now, just think about that. Why did I put 150 there? So 30 into that is 7. Just notice the error. 7. 180 got 6 30s. There's 7 30s. So 7 pi over 6. And this 33 into that is 11. So that's 11 pi over 6. So the answer is pi over 2, 7 pi over 6, and 11 pi over 6. That's all the angles that will satisfy this equation. Okay, that's one. Let's do another one. Solve for all possible values of theta in degrees this time. Last time we did it in radians. Now we have a choice. Again, we got the cos, and the cos has 3 answers. So we just eye it by, let's look at what sine 2 theta is. Or sine 2 theta is 2 sine theta cos theta. 2, negative 2. Tan squared is sine squared over cos squared. And this is cos squared. So looking at, I got 3 different names there, and I don't know which one to put in yet, but I'm just looking at this side, so they cancel out. So this side becomes 2 sine theta cos theta minus 2 sine squared theta. So which one do we change it to? Do we change it to cos and sine? So let's look at cos squared minus sine squared. If that don't work, then I'll have to go, it will work, but I might have to change cos to sine, cos squared to sine squared, or sine squared to cos squared. So let's look at these. I have a sine squared here and here. They won't cancel out. So let's bring them all. I got a cos squared theta, and I got a negative cos squared minus 2 sine theta cos theta plus 2 sine squared. So I moved all my expressions to the left side. And notice that they will. So this is cos theta. And if I add these two together, they're like terms. So I get a plus sine squared. It's a minus 1 plus 1 is a plus sine squared minus 2 sine theta cos theta equals 0. And this could become a 1, but then I could do it that way, I suppose. Yes. I could make this a 1 and change that back to a sine 2 theta and work it out that way. But I was thinking about doing it this way. So I line it up. Notice I got a square and a square. So this is a square here and a square here, and that's a plus sign. So this is a perfect square trinomial. So that means that this is factorable as cos theta, cos theta. This is sine squared, which is sine theta, sine theta. And this, it ends in a plus and a minus. The product is positive and the sum is negative. So that's a negative and a negative. So that's a perfect square trinomial. Square root is cos theta. Square root is sine theta. The product is cos sine and doubled. It's perfect square trinomial. So that means I have a cos theta minus sine theta equals 0. And it's the same factored again. So the two of these are the same, so I just got to work at one of them. So that means that cos theta is equal to sine theta. And in order to get a 0 here, both of these have to be the same. So to do that, I'm going to divide each side by cos theta, assuming that we can't have cos theta equal to 0. So 1 equals, and that's sine over cos is tan. So we have tan theta equals 1. Tan theta equals 1. Well, that's in, you got a special right triangle. Tan is opposite over adjacent, so it's 1 over 1. That's a root 2. So that means that this is a special right triangle with a 45. And we want to add sugar to coffee. Tan is positive in 1 and 3. So we go to quadrant 1 and put the 45. We go to quadrant 3 and put the 45. That means that theta in this quadrant is 45 degrees. And theta in this quadrant, to rotate, is 180 plus 45. So that's 225. But we want all the possible answers. Now, that means, according to what the previous videos in Trig 2, the period for tan and cot is 180. So if we want all of them, we have theta is 45 plus 180n, where n belongs to the integers. And we also have 225, and we add on 180n, where n belongs to the integers. But if you look at it closely, if you let n be 1, if n is 1, then like 180 plus 45 is 225. So really, this one here takes care of this one. So the answer is we could have just this, because this one here has this built in. So if I let n be 0 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in this expression, or if I let n be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2 here, I'll get the same answer as in this one. So this is all angles that start with 45 and add or subtract 180 or 360, add or subtract, etc., etc., are the solutions to this equation. And I mentioned also that I could have gone right here and made, made this a 1, and I could have had, that would have been 1 equals 2 sine theta cos theta. So 1 would have equal to the sine of 2 theta. And again, this would have worked out to give you the same answers, because we would have figured out what the angles, you could use this to figure out what the angle is. And so that they would have fit it in, because 45 would have been 90, and the sine of 90 would have been a 1. So that you could have done it that way to get the answer, but I decided to elect to do it with the factoring. And that brings us to the end of the video. If you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.